YouTube, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mac bringing you guys another video here. Hopefully the audio is getting better. If it is, drop a like right away. If it's better than the last videos, appreciate that a lot. We got the coffee here. I'm gonna have a sip quick. Starbucks, it's just amazing. But today's video, I think will help a lot of you guys. Was going through the DMs and stuff like that, and I had a lot of questions regarding why I only trade one currency pair, why I have traded one currency pair for over a year now, and the benefits in my development and all that stuff that have came from just focusing on one pair. So the title of this video, guys, is why I only traded one Forex pair, one currency pair, whatever it may be, and why you should too. All right, guys, so I'm gonna jump right into it. The first point that I have here is it forces you to stay patient. I have a community chat of like 1,800 people in the RM free group, and then I have obviously my mentorship. And one of the biggest problems that traders run into, myself in the past as well, is patience, right? We always wanna be in a trade. We always wanna be feeling that dopamine release that's released when we're in that trade. We wanna be revved up. We wanna be in the markets because we feel like if we're not in a trade, if we're not actively looking for a trade, then we are doing something wrong. We are not growing, right? Fast forward, after sticking to one pair, my patience is probably my best trait in trading. I get messages all the time saying, how do you stay so patient? How do you stay so patient? And it's because I've only been trading one pair. You guys are gonna see the benefits as the video goes on, and it's all gonna tie into it. So just stay with me. Like I said, the number one thing that most traders lack is patience, right? And say you are constantly looking for setups. Say you have 15 pairs on your list, and as a swing trader, it may be different. Maybe 15 pairs on your list is great, but I'm just going over my experience as a day trader, intraday trader, and I feel like if you have that many pairs, you're not focusing on what's actually happening. You're just quickly looking for a setup, right? And having one pair forces you to be patient because your setup is not always going to be there every single day. Every single day is not a trading day, even if you are a day trader, right? If you're a scalper, maybe it's a little different, but staying patient, developing that patience muscle that I've talked about in videos about a year ago. Remember, I said the only way you get better with patience, the only way you get more patient is through developing that patience muscle, right? By practicing being patient every single day, you build up your tolerance, right? You build up your patience skill set, and then you're able to apply it not only in trading, but to every other area of your life. You're used to fighting that impulse, right? The impulse to get into the market. And once you build that patience, it's crazy how much it kind of trickles down into every other aspect of your life. So I would say one of the biggest reasons why I developed that patience was just sticking to one pair, because I had my setup, I knew what my setup was, and I kind of was just waiting for it to happen, right? As day traders, not every day is a trading day, like I said. So when I get on the market and I don't see my setup on my one pair, that's it. I'm being patient, right? I'm waiting until the setup happens, or I know today's most likely not going to be a trading day. But if you have multiple pairs, you're not even going to give yourself the time to grow that patience muscle, because you're just going to be quickly looking at another pair, and then more times than not, you're going to end up taking a setup that doesn't fit your trading plan. It's going to lose, and then you're going to fall through this spiraling downward momentum of just not following your plan, not being patient, and it's going to stress you out a lot and hurt your progress. So that's point number one. Let's just jump into point number two. The second reason, guys, why I only trade one pair, and I'm going to leave it right here, is you get to learn its tendencies, okay? So each pair is different, right? They have different tendencies. They move at different sessions. For example, say you are a London trader. Maybe you want to trade a pound pair or a euro pair, or say you're trading Asia session, you want to trade a yen pair, right? You want to trade pairs that it's their session, right? So for example, I like EU. The reason I trade euro dollar is because I trade the first 3 hours of New York session. There's no point in me having a bunch of trading pairs because my setup should show up during that window 3, 4, 5 times a week. And if it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't show up, but more times than not, my setup occurs enough on the one pair that I'm able to not only succeed in the market, I'm also able to build the patience muscle like I was talking about in the previous point. Like I said, each pair has its own tendencies, right? So some pairs are very, very volatile. Some pairs aren't volatile. Some pairs have 130 pip daily range. Some pairs have a 60 pip daily range, right? So you're able to kind of apply your trading style based on your lifestyle to a certain pair, right? So say you like to be involved a lot, you like to be involved every single day, maybe you want to trade higher volatile pair, right? Say you're a little bit laid back, you like to wait for the setups to come to you a little bit more, maybe you can trade a slower pair. I like Euro USD because, like I said, it's a nice pair for my lifestyle. It's a nice pair for the session that I trade, and it's just super, super clean. I think it's one of the most traded Forex pairs on earth. So there's a ton of liquidity involved in the pair. It has been chopping around lately, and I'm going to discuss in my next video what I'm going to be doing about that moving forward in the new year. But you're able to learn the tendencies in the sense you know how it works, right? Each pair has its own unique way of moving, right? Some pairs throw a lot of wicks, some pairs move a lot cleaner on the lower time frame, some pairs are choppier, right, and are ranging on the higher time frame. So you're able to kind of find the tendencies and kind of mold it to, you know, your way of seeing the market. And my third point, guys, you always know where the pair is, and it makes it a lot easier on your day-to-day as a trader, right? You're not doing 15 different end of day markups. You're not doing 15, weekly prep videos for yourself, or where you're kind of determining where you think the market's going to go ahead. You always have an idea of where the pair is. I always know where EU is for days in advance, right? I can mark out what I think is going to happen on a Sunday, and more times than not, as the week is going on and developing, more times than not, it's happening exactly how I planned out on the Sunday, because I just know the pair so well. I know where it is on the higher time frame. I know where it is on the lower time frames. And you start to gauge really well how it reacts in different sessions. Like I talked about in New York, for example, I have a beautiful daily cycle strategy that I use with my trading, where it's based off of what London has done. London has one based off of what Asia has done. And because I'm only on one pair and I know EU so well, when I get on in the morning, I know where it is just based on my analysis the day before. Nothing's going to catch me off guard, because I would rather know a lot about a little than a little about a lot, right? I would rather know a lot about one pair than little about a bunch of pairs, right? For me, that's what took my trading to the next level for sure, because like I said at the beginning of the video, guys, patience is the number one thing holding traders back. You can have such a great trading plan, you can do all the work every single day, but if you're not building that patience muscle, that trading plan you have, you're not going to stick to it. You're not going to have the patience to stick to it, right? You're going to be forcing setups. You're going to be taking trades that aren't to your plan. Whereas if you build that patience muscle and you just stick to one pair, yes, the opportunities may not be as much as if you had more pairs, but long-term vision on this, guys. I promise, give me 2 months of sticking to just one pair. It doesn't have to be just EU. It can be gold. It can be any pair that moves nice in your session, right? Like I talked about earlier in the video, you want to find a pair that fits your lifestyle, your session, whatever it may be, and then just stick to it and watch it, how much better you get at sticking to your trading plan. Watch how much better you get at being patient, not only in trading, but in other areas of your life, because you're going to have your setup. It's going to make trading so much more simple, because I have a checklist of what I'm looking for. It's only on one pair. And when I don't see that, I don't trade. I'm not clicking between 15 different pairs trying to find something that kind of works with what I'm looking for, right? It's a simple, is there a setup here in the next hour or so that's going to play out? Yes. Okay, I stay on. No, I get off, I go on with my day, and I'm back the next day. But by learning the tendencies, by building that patience muscle and becoming so familiar with it, you know where it is at all times, it's honestly less work. You make trading easier, right? It becomes easier for you, and you're able to pick up the lagging, skill sets that you maybe weren't good at. And that's, I guarantee you, for most of you guys, patience, right? Like I said, you won't be doing end of day markups every day on 15 different pairs. It just makes life a lot easier. And, this is mainly for people who are maybe trying to get a grasp of their trading plan. Maybe they're struggling, maybe they're spinning their tires and stuff like that. And I know this isn't for everybody. There's some people where their type of trading, they need a lot of pairs. But if you're sitting here and you've been lacking patience, and I know I get asked it all the time, so I know a lot of you guys have been struggling with this. And I promise you, this is what took my trading to the next level, 100%. was just sticking to this, because my patience is so on lock now that I feel like my psychology and everything is just untouchable. I truly, truly believe that. And it's not from, reading books. It's not from doing any of that stuff. That's helped, but nothing can help your patience than actually sitting there and just watching the market. I'll give you guys one tip that actually helped me kickstart this. It's tough, and I promise you this is going to be tough. It's way harder than it sounds right now, but maybe you guys can do this as, December wraps up here, because, market conditions second half of December aren't going to be the cleanest. Sit in front of the chart and don't trade. Sit in front of the chart for a week, 2 weeks. I promise this will put you ahead. You're not missing out on anything. Sit there and watch price. Just watch price action on that one pair. Fight the urge of getting into a trade. Fight the urge of getting into the first setup that you see. Build that patience muscle. Show yourself that you can, fight those urges. You can fight the impulse, because it's going to benefit you in the long run. Remember, long-term vision, right? You missing out on whatever that money may be will not matter in the long term when you've built this skill set up from the ground up, not only technicals, but internally as well. You're going to shape yourself to become the best trader you possibly can be. And I'm telling you right now, sticking to one pair, and it doesn't have to be EU, it can be any pair, helped me like crazy. And I just wanted to make a video about this because I get asked about it all the time in the free group, in my DMs, YouTube comments, whatever it may be. This is why I only traded one Forex pair and how it benefited me. And I'm so grateful that I implemented this. So if you're watching this, I hope you took something from this. I hope you implement this and just work on what I said at the end of the video. And if you stayed to the end of the video, I appreciate you guys so much. What do I say at the end of every single video, guys? Let's be 1% better every single day. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next week.